This is going to be the last live before Icon Friday because we are 48 hours away from the $80,000 giveaway. And I'm bringing Scott Epperingham on, the $1 billion man. And so we're going to be talking about us collaborating together on this and what even he is seeing as far as scaling your business in 2026. So let me get him to join in here. Let's see if he's on live yet. Stay with me. Stay with me. We're bringing on the $1 billion man. Let me see if I can get him in. Here we go. Invite to join, Scott. Come on, Scott. Y'all are going to love Scott. It invited him. So we're going to be talking about the $1 billion man and everything that's included in the $80,000 giveaway on Icon Friday. Here he is. Here he is.
How are
Thank you,
you?
Scott, for sharing your time with us.
Love it. I feel privileged. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I figured that we would kind of start off with you kind of telling them why you were ever known as the $1 billion man. I feel like that's a great story to kick off. Then we can go into, scaling strategies that we see are we're going to be taking into 2026 and what businesses are going to be needing. Then we can do a breakdown of what the $80,000 is for Icon Friday because we're officially 48 hours away. Oh, and anyone watching this, comment the word Friday. As long as you comment the word Friday right now, you'll get your invite to come and you have to be there live to win the $80,000 giveaway. Okay.
Love it. Love it. Well, so the $1 billion man, where did that come from?
Where did it
I
come from?
I was taking the stage in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I was doing some work for Ford Motor Company and a lot of car companies. And one of the strategies we put together for one of the OEMs sold over $1 billion worth of cars, trucks, and SUVs in about 13 months. So we set all the records in terms of leads generated, and we even had the notable issue that took place one morning at about 4 o'clock in the morning. My phone rang, and they thought this major OEM, I won't share their name, they got hacked because they were generating so many leads in such a short period of time, the entire system crashed. So I have the unique distinction of crashing an OEM server, major server farm with literal leads and good leads. But the program was so successful, we crashed their servers, which was kind of cool in a weird way. But we ended up selling over $1 billion worth of cars, trucks, and SUVs in about 13 months using our method, our approach.
That is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And you still work with a lot of vehicle brands, don't you?
I still work with a ton of vehicle brands, just same type of stuff and some of the same approaches, just now using a lot more AI tools and technologies.
Right.
So
And so for
love it.
everyone listening here, like I feel like I'm the messaging queen with AI, but Scott is the king of AI in terms of visuals, in terms of like being ahead of the trend. Like I have learned, or how do you say this? He's forgotten more than I've learned from AI. And so me and my team are actually in his program and we get weekly access to him and his team where they really help us with AI strategy. So I would love for Scott to kind of talk on that because what we're seeing going into 2026 as far as scaling businesses.
Yeah, well, first a big shout out to you because there's people that join our course, and then there's that 10% of the people that actually really execute on all the stuff. We have a course. It's a 10-day AI boot camp, but it's married to 24/7 WhatsApp channel, so you can ask questions anytime. A weekly live group call, and then a monthly one-on-one. And what you've done is you've taken massive action, and that's something you can't teach, you can't coach. The person has to take action. And you're one of these amazing, rare people that once you decide on something, you go. And that's something that I admire so much about you and all the folks that work with you and that are part of your programs. That's something that seems like you guys have in common and you gals have in common and all you folks have in common and you guys just crush it. So the program is that. It's a course, 10-day AI course. And then there's a weekly, a daily, and a monthly kind of connection and accountability system built in and coaching program. But it's really built in four pieces. And you know this, but for the listeners that are watching, maybe, if you've ever wondered why your ads aren't working, or why your emails aren't working, or why your landing pages aren't converting, or where your message isn't landing, oftentimes it's the strategy isn't in place. You don't really understand who your ideal customer is. And people come to us all the time and say, I need better ads. I need better emails. I need better landing pages. You don't necessarily need a better ad, and you don't need a better agency. You need a better understanding of who your ideal client is, What do they want? What are their dreams? What are their desires? What are their hopes? What are their limiting beliefs about your product or service? And so Randa immediately took that. We've got prompts to make it dirt simple, like copy, paste, fill in the blanks. Copy, paste, fill in the blanks. And it's dirt simple. And then you get a crystal clear vision of who they are, what their hopes and dreams are. And when you message to those hopes, when you message those dreams and acknowledge some of their pain points, you have a much easier time converting them to your message. And that's, in a
Absolutely.
nutshell, that's where we start strategy.
Yes, and you know I love ambition first marketing versus like basic ass chat GPT that's going to give you dense yet pain point, because people that are still stuck in their pains, they're not moving, they're not taking action, they're not looking to actually buy yet. They're just becoming aware of their pains, and then they're going to spend all this time researching about their pains. I like to find people when they hit the I'm done moment. Like, I'm done sitting in my damn pain. Now let's take some action. And so that's how we position everything that's ready for that moment, right? But Scott is so incredible because let me tell y'all this. Not only is Icon Friday in with Iconic Academy and Scott, but this is how incredible working with someone like Scott is. He is so well connected that I come to him and I'm like, okay, I want to do all the things with you, but like I am tapped on my bandwidth, right? When I tell, and I already had team members, but I needed a new VA, like a media guy, but I needed like top tier media guy. Like, I don't know how to find this person, but I need them to understand social media and messaging the way I do, but like be better at video editing and all this stuff. And he's like, I know exactly who you have to get connected with. So that's actually the third partner in our live. It's Mike Birdsall with Doxa Talent and what you're going to get from them. So you're getting everything with Iconic Academy, everything with Scott, but here's the best part. Say you get all these things and you're like, well, I don't have the bandwidth. You get to put your VA through these things. So like Nick, whenever he came on, started working with me from Doxa, I get to put him through Scott's training. So that's less on me as a new hire. Like, I'm not having to train him myself. He's getting trained Scott's way, if that makes sense. And so what they do is they actually go in and they're going to write the job description for you. Because even though you know your business so well, these people hire for VAs all the time. So they actually know the blind spots that you don't even know you have because they've managed so much of it. Then they're going to come and bring you on. Like, I only had to interview 2 people. They bring me the top 2 people. The first one, we had to reschedule. The second one I hired on the spot. He was so good. Like, I don't need to go through resumes or interviews. Like, literally the person they put in front of me, that is freaking it. And then they manage all the HR. They manage, like, literally they give them computers. They give them, hard drives. They give them all the equipment and they're managing the time off, the HR, the payroll, everything. So like, it's where you get to really thrive in what you are good at it in business versus trying to do it all as a business owner. Would you say that, Scott?
100% true. So I've had the privilege of now traveling and training thousands of businesses all over the world, over Europe, Shanghai, just got back from Shanghai, Puerto Rico, all over Mexico, all over Canada, all over the US, trained to thousands of businesses. And when they come to our course, our coaching program, they go, okay, and now I know what to do. And now I know how to do it, step by step prompts, step by step. And I know the tools, but I don't have time to do it. Who can I get that can just execute this thing flawless for me? I'll own the strategy. I know where I want to go, but how do I find somebody who can get me there faster and cheaper? And that's what Doxa Talent does. They can plug that person in. And then you guys say, well, I can go to Upwork, so I can go to Fiverr. Great.
Oh my God,
Go to
Upwork's
Upwork.
terrible. You're going to get 10 people and they're all going to be, let me just say it, shit. You're
Yeah.
going to have wasted your time.
Yeah. And that's after you sift through the 1,000 people that hits your inbox, and you got to sift through and then find the 10 people, and then they disappear. With Doxa, you get disc anal, you get the personality assessments, you get all the vetting, you get all the job samples, and you get all the job description based upon exactly what you need, so you know it's a good fit.
It's the
It's a
trust.
massive saver. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know that if Doxa Talent is putting a candidate in front of you, they're basically giving you the FBI profile and every backstory on this person. So you know they are so legit and you're not having to deal with all that because literally I used to be able to piece little things together on Upwork. It just got where it is literally not worth your time or energy for the follow through on these people. You have to
Yeah.
find a really good, credible, trusted place.
And the volume of people is overwhelming. So they sift through it. They give you the very best. They give you the job description. All that kind of stuff is done. And you just say, I want that one. And then it can
Yep.
be month to month. So it's very simple. It's a new business model. By the way, in my workshop, I call it the 3 secrets. And I walk through secret number 1 is exactly where your ads and funnels are failing. Secret number 2 is how to build a $1 million ad agency for about $500 a month. And then the third secret is the new marketing model that nobody's talking about, but everybody should. And I'll give you the
That's what we
punchline.
need to talk about for 2026. What's the new marketing model no one's talking about, but they should?
Well, it's the Icon Academy. So it's understanding, unlocking somebody who knows your market cold that can give you the blueprint. Like I want to, if I'm going to go, I traveled years ago through the Grand Canyon, and there was a guy. Rather than me just trudging through the Grand Canyon going camping, I called a buddy of mine who's got the map, who's been on the terrain before. He knows the terrain, he knows the pitfalls, he knows where to go, where to stay away from. So if they hook up with you, you've got the map, you've got the bullseye. We've got all the tools. We've got all the tools, all the prompts, copy, paste, plug it into your system. And then you literally have the total unlock, which is now you don't even have to do the execution. You can decide where you want to go, plug into your system, plug into our course, get the coaching program, daily access to my entire agency, weekly access to our live group coaching call, monthly
So where you're going
one-on-one.
to learn from people on these live group calls from things that you're not even maybe thinking of yet. Like they're going to be asking questions and having conversations where you're like, oh my God, I'm learning in real time. And it's trustworthy. They're telling you what is actually working in their businesses right now with actual like numbers pay out.
Yeah, and you'll be a part of a private group of high-end clients who are all using a similar system and similar approach. And you can compare notes. What's working in your industry? What type of tools are you using? So you're part of a network group. You're not going it alone. You have our agency and then literally 200 other members of our elite program you can plug into for best practices and ideas and bounce on what's working and what's not working. That it's a huge time saver. I wish I discovered
Absolutely.
that years ago.
And you know what's crazy? And I know you'll relate to this too, but you and I both figured out so much on our own, which is great. It grew us, right? But it took us a lot longer doing it on our own before we kind of started investing in those different things. But here's what I have women that come to me and they think they need to be at a certain place in business to hire me or to get the ROI from what I can do with helping them scale their business faster, easier with way less stress. Same for you, right? What I would tell anyone, I don't care where you're at in business, even if you're just starting drawing your business plan to get those eyes, to get those people on your stuff, like what it's going to save you in collapsing time, elevating your identity, and making you make that money so much faster, as well as learning the lessons. Like I learned a lot of hard lessons with money that I lost before I figured them out, right? And so this is really taking that. I don't care if you're just starting out a new business, maybe you are a successful business owner and you're starting out like a second business, or you're at that place of like, okay, I'm at $10,000, $20,000 months. I want to be at $40,000, $50,000 months. We have clients who come in at $60,000, $80,000 months. They're like, we're ready for our $100,000 months. And instead of trying to figure it out by themselves, it's like, let's get this happening faster, easier with way less stress, just like what Scott's talking about.
That's it. And I wish I discovered coaching. I remember when I first got into coaching with Tony Robbins way back in the day. And that's when I started to figure out, even early on, I go all the way back to the tapes of Tony Robbins. But once I started discovering that and learning a little bit more about Unleash Your Power Within, and then I got within a coaching community, then I got into entrepreneur organizations. But once I found out that there were business owners succeeding at a really high level, I hit 10 million and I thought I was doing pretty good until I sat next to a young woman that was doing 120 million. And then a
That's
guy
it.
over here was doing 100 million and the guy over there. And I thought, I can learn from these folks and I don't have to make the mistakes over and over. And I would have a question about marketing and they go, oh, just do this and this and this and you can do this. And I thought, I never even thought about that. Or I have an HR issue, right? All kinds of different issues. Learning from other people's mistakes and wisdom sure saves a lot of time. And that was a
It
big
really
thing
is.
on that.
It really is. And it's the belief that you think you need to be at a certain place to be ready to scale. No, if you're already like if you're here, if you're consuming, like there is subconscious beliefs that are happening there for a reason and you're here for a reason, right? You're ready. Like you were ready. You've been ready. You just got to jump and act and move. And we're literally getting ready to give away $80,000 worth of Kickstart, like business power plays. And before I'm going to break that down for y'all on what all the $80,000 is. And I'm also going to give you some tips of how to elevate and enhance your chance to win because we do have ways to get extra entries on Icon Friday. I want Scott just to put him on this. He's telling us his $1 billion stories of all these, sales records he's made with vehicle companies. What if someone's listening on Scott? And my lady, most of my business owners are women in business, right? So we're talking more moms. Like they're not the men, they're the moms. So they're managing being wives, being moms, all these things. Tell us a couple success stories you have of business owners that you've worked with that hit more of my demographic. Does that make
Oh my
sense?
gosh. One of my favorite ones was one of my very first ones. When I first launched my program, a woman came to me and she had two boutiques, two small clothing boutiques. She was a single mom, three kids, pulling her hair out. She was brilliant, really smart lady, but she was having trouble getting to the marketing. She had these two amazing boutiques right here in Orange County, California, clothing boutiques, clothing, jewelry, all these kinds of things. And she was struggling to really keep her head above water. She was running the business. She had a great foundation, but she had done zero marketing. So she came to the program. She goes, the problem I have is I want to tell the world about it, but I don't have any budget and I really don't have any time. So I
And
said,
bandwidth.
don't,
I mean,
and
she's a
bandwidth,
wife. She's a single mom. Or I mean, not a wife. She's a single mom.
single mom. And so she came to the program and she was really skeptical. She was like, I will do this thing. I'm just really nervous. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I said, don't worry about that. Let's start at the very beginning. She went through the strategy portion. She goes, I know who my ideal customer is. Once she went through the strategy portion, it was really interesting. In the strategy portion of the workshop, you actually have to answer a few key questions. One of them is, who's your ideal customer? Some really basic questions. Then it was, what's your budget? She goes, well, that's what I'm saying. There's zero budget. I said, just plug it into ChatGPT. And a couple other things. Some of the prompts came up and said, these people want to shop online. She goes, I don't even have a website. I can't do that. The strategy it spit out was Facebook Live. It gave her a name of the Facebook Live. It gave a virtual fashion show as a recommendation. She could boost it with $50 because then she finally said, well, I guess I could squeeze out like $50. The plan it put in front of her was every 2 weeks to do a Facebook Live getting ready for the summer, call it a virtual fashion show. That's what she did. She put $50 behind it. And then ChatGPT, and we walked her exactly through how to do the boosting, how to do the ads, how to do the live. Once she did that, she had 5 customers, 10 customers, 20 customers. People started sharing it. She started getting customers from Europe, and she was like, I cannot believe this. She did a half a dozen of these things. The thing blew up, and that was her marketing. That was literally her marketing. She just kept repeat, repeat, repeat. She grew her business. She was happy with that. It was going great for her, and all for a couple $100 a month with a strategy that she never would have thought of had she not gone through the program. And the strategy portion and the content creation was really easy. And the editing of the videos, we showed, she goes, I can't edit. Don't worry. We showed her
We
like a
got you.
tool that
We got you.
her admin copied, pasted, it edited the video, and she got to push it out afterwards to promote her next virtual fashion show. And it was easier than she ever could have imagined on a bootstrap budget with no resources, no extra time. And she managed to pull it off. And she became one of our anchors and success stories in our program as we went forward around the world.
And you bring up such a good point, especially with like my demographic. It's not even that maybe they don't have the budget; it's they don't have the bandwidth, right? That's why we're tossing in, hey, this is why we want to get you in Docs of Talent to get you a VA and really make all these things where we can save your bandwidth and get your peace back, right? Because you start this business to have freedom, and then it ends up taking over, and you don't have the peace anymore. So, can you tell them about your Lash Girl? I feel like my clients would really love to hear about the Lash Girl.
Yeah. So, but I want to just, there's something you said there that I want to just address really quickly, and maybe this sparks something with you. Is a lot of times they're not successful because of the story they bring about why they can't be successful, which is totally different. Like, I'm supposed to be the AI guy, and I talk about tools, and I talk about technologies and tactics. But one thing you have in spades, and I think it rubs off on some of the people around you, or a lot of the people around you, is this belief or faith that whatever is in front of you, there's a way over, around, under, or through. The prison, I find, man or woman, single, divorced, doesn't matter. Any of that stuff is sometimes the story they bring to their marketing that keeps them from ever taking that first step. That one step of faith that says, I'll try it, I'll give it my best shot, because a lot of times people come with a story and that holds them back from everything.
Right. And you know what's crazy is like, and you'll see this because I know you've seen it in your clients. When you show up to market online, you literally can have your own alter ego. Even
Oh,
if you have that damn story and you still believe that story, you show up as your dream person and you market as your dream person, even if you're not there yet, because that's what creates exactly where you want to be, right? So it can truly be an alter ego.
100%, 100%. I like the alter ego too. That's really good. The last, and I think this is the one you're talking about, where A woman came to us, I think she had 2 or 3 lash stores. And she was like, I've never succeeded in Facebook ads. You know, I'm skeptical of the whole thing. I've tried it and failed. I've wasted so much money in marketing. I'm ready to give up and just throw the whole thing out. I'm successful without advertising. But she came to one of the workshops and she was intrigued and she was like, let me try this and see if this can work for me. We put together all the ads. We used AI tools to create lots of ads. And oftentimes somebody will create ads for you and there'll be like 6 ads, 12 ads, maybe 15 ads in your ad account. And Meta loves ads. That's the problem. It eats ads. We created 250 ad units for her just using all the AI tools. It just blew her away. We maxed out her ad account. She generated so many leads that we had to develop another technology called auto qualify to manage all those incoming leads because it flooded her receptionist with more leads than they ever got. And it was an automotive example, but in the last business,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she just wasn't prepared for that many leads. So we actually developed an AI set of tools that if Rando scheduled an eyelash appointment, a text, an email, and an AI voice call would go out to you, confirm your information, set your appointment, book it. And if you didn't answer, that's okay. It would try you again and again and again. But it took all the load off the admin team and did everything with AI. And it took the load off. It booked more appointments. It was manageable, and she ultimately crushed it.
And you know, people think like if they embrace ads and AI and automations that it's going to like dehumanize their brand when really it does quite the opposite because it takes all of that pressure and that bandwidth off that then you get to be better at being a human being to actually serve your people, right?
Yes, 100%. Where you said, and there's tools that you could use where you could do a long form video, chop it up into lots of little videos. So it's still you. All you're doing is taking this $2,000 a month editing process. And for $100 a year, there's one tool that you can copy and paste that one video and it'll chop it up for you, brand it, edit it, caption it, and it's still you. So it
Yes.
doesn't necessarily mean AI is going to be a fake you, like a Hey
Right.
Jen or a clone of
Right.
you.
Yes, absolutely. It's taking that macro thing we created and turning it into micro content because content is king now. Like you just have to create.
Yeah.
I wrote down a couple of different things that we could still talk about before I list out what the Icon Friday $80,000 giveaway is broken down into. Things that you were saying, scam and skeptical. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that, and then. Basic chat GPT versus like a personalized GPT from, you know, industry leaders who are years ahead of you in terms of business success, marketing, messaging, scaling. Let's talk about that first, and then I'll bring back the scam skeptical part.
Love it. Love it. Oh, so the personalized GPTs.
Yes. How much do you think that someone should be really seeing the value in that versus a, you know, basic chat GPT is wonderful if you know what you're doing, but if you're new to this and you kind of don't know and you're not great at marketing yet and you're trying to navigate all this by yourself, like to me it's like having your dream kitchen in like a vacation home in like Malibu, California, with the top of the line like appliances, but you don't know how to use them, so you're just ordering Uber Eats.
Right, right, right. It's a very good analogy, and you know the truth is, it's a lot simpler than most people realize. If you could copy and paste or upload a document to your computer or anything else, you could do all of this. First, is it important to have a custom GPT? 100%. What is a custom GPT? Imagine you could take a mini Randa, take your advertising agency and just digitize it and have Randa's voice, Randa's tone, understand intimately Randa's ideal customer, their pains, their desires, their goals, their aspirations, their objections, their questions. So you can take all of that and put it into this little microchip, into this little computer called a GPT, and then have that GPT go write ads, emails, blogs. How powerful would that be if now you didn't have to do it? You could just drop a prompt in and that GPT would go off and do that 100% of the time or 99.9% of the time perfectly without you. That's the
Right.
power of a GPT. We've had clients like Ford and Mazda and Lincoln, big brands say, well, in the early days, now they're not skeptical, but they were super skeptical. They said, well, we have a brand voice, we have a style guide, we have brand guidelines. If those are violated and you're doing it for our dealers, the dealers don't get reimbursed. It's a big mess. So they were super strict and super skeptical. We created GPTs, and all we did is just a couple of things. We'll teach everybody in your program. Just copy paste a few items from your blogs, emails, prompts. Once you do that, you set a couple of rules, you upload some documents to your GPT, and now it's ready to go. We'll walk you through it. And now you could take that and you can create ads, emails, everything you need, content in your brand voice, even video scripts in your brand voice. And when we did that for Mazda, we did that for Lincoln, we did that for Ford, it blew them away. And they said, I knew we were one of the first to do it for some of these big companies. And they said, we're good. We're good. The style guides were met. All the brand guides were met. And that's the power of that for smaller businesses, because you don't want fake stuff going out there. But
Right.
that's a big deal.
Right. And even like, for instance, my ladies, if they're still watching this and they're like, I get on with some of them and they're like, how do you know that you're like talking straight to me? And how do you write like this to me? And how do this? And I'm like, I've done my damn research on you. And not only this, but I've built out a system that has my icon method messaging. So the way that I talk with like the internal buying triggers, like the way that that is done, there's 6 different things that's built up on the icon method messaging. Then I've got my revenue runway posting framework, and this is what to post of the client experience to actually get people in as leads to like seeing you as doing business with you on social media, not just like free entertainment online. And then the only missing piece is your brand messaging guide, which again, the system walks you through how to do it. And then if you're like, man, Randa's marketing is so good to me, guess what? You get to then take mine and emulate it so it's yours. If you love the way I speak to you, then that's how you're going to speak to your clients too. And that is what is so valuable versus not to take away from basic chat GPT, but you can get so much more out of it. Cause I think the average thing is like, it takes like 8 to 12 prompts back and forth with basic chat GPT just to get one piece of content that you want correctly, where you're hearing him, like we're doing 250 ads for this company. Well, how much time are you going to freaking waste doing that?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is the time unlock. I just got back from New York, Albany, Connecticut, all over the Northeast just last week, doing these workshops for these really successful business owners, and they were expecting a ChatGPT experience. They got a different ChatGPT experience. We showed them how to stack the prompts one at a time, copy paste, fill in the blanks, dirt simple. But by the time they'd stacked a few prompts, the quality and the tonality and the voice with a couple of tweaks that they made, they just were blown away. We got it all on video. We're just editing all the video today and tomorrow and getting it out next week. But people are just blown away that they were able in one sitting to nail their strategy, nail their tone, and then produce apps, videos, all the images. I'm talking full blown like VO3 commercials with their entire messaging in it, and they're just absolutely blown away. And that's what's part of your. I can't.
Oh, it is
You
like, I
how
had
you
a
build
client
it.
that did a testimonial this week and she was like, you took everything that was up here that I did not know how to articulate, much less professionally articulate to a client lead, to where you've done this in a way that's not only made it easy, but like, she's like, I am rejuvenated as shit to like show up now, that she's like, good luck getting me to shut up. Like now
Yeah,
that I've got all this that I didn't know how to say it and it's right there, she's like, you're never going to hear me shut up. And I'm like, that's exactly what we want. Like, that's the goal.
yeah. I love that too because the name of my presentation is called "Fire Your Agency: Take Back Control and Master AI." I get so excited when I see the light bulbs go on and they see that they can do this. I see people come into my workshop say, I'm an owner of a business. I'm smart at finances, law, a dentist practice, an HVAC company, but I don't know anything about marketing. And within 40 minutes, within 30 minutes, so that's within 20 minutes or 10 minutes, they're blown away by what they've created. And they're literally on like WhatsApp with their team or emailing their team going, fire the agency. I figured this thing out. And so that's one of the best parts, and you can check that out. And some of those reactions are on our social channels right now. But
I
it's the
had a
best.
client that I checked in with today at 1 o'clock earlier. She's one of my dream clients. Let me tell you a little success story about her. So she's been with me since the beginning and she owns a telehealth company. Okay. When she came in with me, she had a guy that was head of marketing and an ads team. She fired both of them. They were still requiring her to do 20 hours of her time on content. But keep in mind, she owns the telehealth company. So she's needing to check in with all the telehealth, like, clients that she's got and everyone that works for her and everything. So she just had no bandwidth. And she's like, every night at midnight, I'm like, why do they still need more of me when I've hired them and the ads aren't working? She comes in, we have condensed it where she is literally spending 4 hours a week on content creation versus 18 to 20. She is scheduled 4 to 5 weeks out. And she literally puts her phone away for 3-day weekends. She is launching something new this December that is so epic. And like I even tell her, I'm like, did you ever think like taking this one chance on something would lead to this? because I never thought that she would have to fire all them. She just thought she would get better. And she's like, no, it literally saved it where I don't need all of that. Now, doesn't mean she won't add some ads back in because we've got her organic conversions popping off, but she's been building the offer suite and kind of adding to that, if that makes sense. But she is on track to exit her business in 2 years.
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, right? So last
People,
thing before I do the Icon Friday breakdown of what all is included in the $80,000 giveaway, because it's almost 30,000 of it from Scott alone. Y'all are going to be, I cannot wait to see who wins this from
you
Scott
got a
because
premium
he is,
program in there.
yeah, life changing for your business. But let's talk about the scam. It's a scam and the skeptical side because I know you and I both, it's not, let's talk about what we do to ease the scam and the skeptical things because I know we both have like a what do you want to call it, a verification or a if this doesn't work for you type situation.
Yeah. I'll share two things. Number one is everything we do comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. Everything we come with, try it for, get the course, get the coaching program, get in our 24/7 WhatsApp, get in our weekly live group call, get in our monthly calls. We have 2 kickoff calls the first month. If you're not thrilled, if you don't think it's 10x what you bought, then you keep the course, you keep the program, you do that. Literally, you keep that. We've had zero refunds. We've had zero refunds after doing this with thousands of businesses, and literally there's 250 active enrolled businesses around the world right now. But so that's that. Second is I'll guarantee you'll be in the same place next year if you don't take some action this year.
Amen.
With a guarantee, a money back guarantee, a satisfying guarantee, you're covered. I want to share one other thing that I think is really important. And you can check this out on my social channels if you scroll down. 5 years ago, a little under 5 years ago, I lost everything. I had this big agency. I lost it all. I lost it all. I lost my office in Newport Beach, 45 employees, 10 million in sales, clients. I had client concentration, all with 2 major automotives. They pulled the plug on their ad agencies. I got caught holding the bag like an awful game of sort of musical chairs. Oxygen out, no cash coming in. I just shut everything down.
Yeah, and kind
Then
of tell them a little more about what it meant to like lose everything because it wasn't something you did. It was,
Oh, no. No, it
yeah.
was 2 of my largest clients had fired their ad agencies. I was buying media on behalf of the ad agencies. I bought all the media and I didn't get paid. And so I was stuck with my payroll. I was stuck with the media that I'd bought. It was nothing that I did wrong. It was, well, the thing I did wrong was client concentration, but nothing unethical, nothing bad business other than having that client concentration there. But it was life changing. And when I lost that, I had to start all over. And there's pictures, you can see the pictures on my social channels of me starting over in my dad's office in a wooden chair between 2 filing cabinets. I show it during my workshops and using the method that I teach, using the method I always use to, when they call me the $1 billion man, I was able to rebuild my business in 88 days. I paid off a $500,000 loan to Citizens Business Bank on 1600 Dove Street, Newport Beach. You can check all that out on my channels. But people ask me, why am I so passionate about AI and this method? Is because for me, it's very personal. People talk about, what would you do if you lost everything? I actually did, and I rebuilt it using the same method that I teach all over the world right now. So for me, it's really personal.
Absolutely. And I know the ladies who have followed me, I thrived with Southern Jewels. I was number 11 fastest growing Aggie owned business in the world at like a 93% compounded growth rate. Like the year before, well, the year I started dating Green, I did over 2 million in sales, like little on me at this boutique. And then the next year I lost $140,000 in sales, had to do a huge layoff. I had it tied to my identity, all this stuff. It's always a blessing. It got my ass in the gym so I could rebuild my confidence because my confidence was tied to my identity in success. And then I ended up in this fitness world where I realized instead of like only helping women with this specialty niche or age or style, I'm able to help women in all avenues of like wellness and health and wellness. And then even that, the struggles I had with the app, having to like rebuild a second one, not because of something I did wrong. I paid up front. I signed the contract. I had everything covered, but like life just happens sometimes, right? And it did. And I had to completely rebuild. I did the next right thing. I took care of the people. I did what I said I was going to do. And then it led me into business scaling because again, when you have those hardships, you have to figure out how to get back faster, stronger, quicker, everything. And then you realize through this that you can help more people.
100%. I had 2 kids that were counting on me. There was no timeout. There was no, I'll take the year off. There was now, what am I going to do today? And so and that's a good segue too, is a couple of years after that, my dad gave me one of the seats in his office. He passed away a few years after that, but I always share the story. The one thing he did was he believed in me. He was somebody that I was able to lock arms with. And he said, listen, I'm here for you. Take action. He rooted me on. He gave me some space to actually lock arms with him and help me. And that's kind of what I see with you doing with all of your community. The thing that's different about you is you do lock arms with your community. And that's the thing I got addicted to with my programs and our communities. I see people winning together, and it makes all the difference. You don't have to go it alone. You don't have
Right.
to grit by
Right.
yourself. Grit is required, but what if
Yes.
you have grit with other gritters? What if you have
And
grit with
it
other gritters?
exactly. I'm like, there is no such thing as too much happiness. There's no much thing as or scaling too big too fast. I mean, obviously, if you don't have your foundation set, yes. But once you're ready to actually put fire to this, or maybe you're not ready to put fire to it yet, you can figure it out and get there faster, right? And I'll tell you this with the women that I serve, they build courage off of each other. Because if Dusty's like, I see Danica posting and I see Kelly doing this and I see her popping off and she's got her win, then they're like, I can show up and do this bigger and bolder the way that Rand is telling me to. Because it's not just this relationship of me handing them over the system on what to do, because they still have to show up, right? It's them seeing each other rise and like thriving off of each other and like focusing on their little lane together, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. It reminds me of the story of Roger Bannister was the first guy to run the 4 minute mile, which took forever. But once he did, other people start doing it immediately. And that's the power of community. What one person can do, so can another. And if they can tell you, oh, I did this, this, and this, copy, paste, I could do that. But when you do that, you get excited for more. And when you see people doing things that you want to do and they make it look so easy, if they're willing to give you the tips, the strategies, the tactics, the blueprint, take it. Take
Yes.
it.
And just being in that room with them to like absorb that energy. Like, here's the thing, I'm telling y'all, and there's an $80,000 giveaway in Icon Friday, but you don't actually know what I'm presenting to you in Icon Friday. And let me tell you what, if I'm putting $80,000 of giveaway to it, you better believe I'm bringing the heat on Icon Friday. Like, it's going to be a presentation, basically a stage performance online in a way you're like, that was worth it all. That was worth it all. It's why I want you to show up on Friday and why we're putting $80,000 behind this and why people like Scott and Doxa even have like the courage to believe in me to like kind of lead something like this. And here's another thing. I was actually on with my sales team manager this morning, checking in with her. And I told her, right now, my biggest win in business is something that actually doesn't even have to do with money. And I want to explain this one. And if you're checking in live, you can comment the word Friday to get your seat saved for our $80,000 giveaway that I'm about to break down. But this is the biggest win I'm having in business right now. I was able to go to the next level of my bodybuilding career, to go to Vegas and to win. And it's not about that win, but it's if you're scaling a business, time is always the greatest resource. So when I'm able to do 30 minutes a day in the sauna, an hour a day on cardio, an hour a day on lifting, meal prepping, all these things, and then traveling to Vegas, being gone for 5 days to go that hard on that level to win a show, that I'm actually practicing what I'm preaching about not being tied and married to my time, to my business, and it's still growing and scaling. Number one. Number two, as soon as I get back, my grandfather unexpectedly passes away. And even though I know he was 91 years old, people may think, well, you would think that. No, he still lived independently. He was going out for his morning mile walk. He was still driving, working cows, like never had to leave his home, his independence, his land, anything. Incredible at 91 years old, right? That I only had one work day I was back and then my popo passes away. And I can message my team that works for me and I can message Scott and Mike saying Icon Friday's next Friday, but I'm out again because my grandfather passed away and business did not crumble. Like that alone, you have to create margin, even if you're able to think, I can do all this by myself. You are only one person. And even if the sales are everything you want and more, there will come a time in your business where you need more margin. And I just lived it. Like I got to do the Vegas show back to back and not missing a moment and being there for my family 3 or 4 days to hustle and get everything together for the visitation and the beautiful funeral and everything, and saying, everyone knows that everything is still going to pull off beautifully for Icon Friday because the way that we have business set.
That's so true. I love what you said too, is because I think you just also perhaps reached a bunch of people that might be thinking, well, it worked for her, but it's not going to work for me, or it worked for this person, it's not going to work for. Everybody has excuses and they're all valid and they're all understandable and everybody's got their own challenges and all of those things are true, but it doesn't change the fact that you can still show up, you can still have an open mind, you still see if there is one step you can take forward. And when you do show up, you always find, well, I could do that. I could do that. If you're willing to just set aside some of the objections you might have, or some of the limiting beliefs you might have, or the stories you tell yourself why not to show up, not to try, not to buy. If you just show up and have an open mind, you'll almost always find one thing you can do today. And that one thing could be the thing that sets you on the road to a brand new course.
Absolutely. You're one decision away from a totally different life, totally different business at any time. And there is reason why we're putting $80,000 behind this giveaway. And I want to remind you, you can comment the word Friday to get your seat saved, because you do have to be live. You have to be live with me this Friday at 4:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. That would be 2:00 p.m. Where Scott is. And I can't wait to see where we have people from all over the world. But comment the word Friday so that you get in, because waiting until the last minute while we're kicking off this deal, not saying you can't get in, but once we're going on this, we are freaking going. And I made sure to not put this on Black Friday morning or lunchtime. 4:00 is like after lunch, before dinner, before the football evening kicks off at 6:30, like the A&M TU game. Believe me, we got this all set. So we're going to see you this Friday at 4 p.m. And just like Scott's saying, you got to put yourself in the room. This room costs you $0 to come to, and there's $80,000 of giveaway. Like, that is absolutely incredible. And those are the kind of opportunities that you need to take. And I see Bronson commented Friday. All right, that's who I bought my Barbie pink Range Rover from. He's incredible. He's incredible. Okay, let's go over real quick what the $80,000 giveaway includes. But before I do, Scott, is there anything else you think I should add in or mention before I break down what the giveaway includes?
Take it away.
Ready to go. Okay. So we are doing a $10,000 global VA hiring credit. That's what I was telling you about with Doxa. So they're going to do an ROI calculator for you. They're going to come up with the job description for you. They're going to find the people for you. They're going to hand it to you. They're going to manage them. They're going to hand them, like these people are going to be across the world. You're going to be managing them virtually. They're going to hand them the equipment. They're going to hand them the computer, the hard drives, everything that they need to really take you to the next level with your online business, your content, and everything. And again, I know you know your business better than anybody, but these people that know how to hire, they're going to create a job description that's better than you could have, and they're going to save you that time. So that's $10,000 credit towards that. So if you're like, well, I can't afford to hire, hello, show up to this $10,000 credit. Okay. Now I'll let Scott mention his two, because he's putting together and adding in a $22,000 giveaway and a $5,000 giveaway. So I'll let him say those two and what they are, and then I'll take on for Iconic Academy.
So if you are wondering, gosh, can I learn AI? Can I implement it in my business? And even if I could, if somebody could give me the course and all the tools, how am I going to be held accountable? How am I going to get ongoing training? What do I do if I have questions? We got all that answered. First, you're going to get full access to our VIP program, which is our annual program. We talked to Randa. She's like, that's the one I want. That's the one I want. So, all right.
I couldn't believe he was willing to give it away, because it's his cream de la cream.
Well, for you, it's a different deal. So we said, all right, I'm in with anything Randa's in. So you have our annual program. You have our 10-day AI bootcamp, our very latest 10-day AI bootcamp. It'll walk you step by step through strategy, content creation, content distribution, and scaling. All the latest tools you've been hearing about, HeyGen, VO3, Agentix, all of that stuff, we break it down so easy. You can do a clone of yourself. You can do micro-influencer content, all of that stuff, step-by-step prompts. You'll be blown away. But we make it dirt simple. And like I said, we've been to Shanghai, all over Asia, Canada, Mexico, Europe. We've taught thousands of businesses. We can teach you as well. Super simple. No design, development, any copywriting experience. 10-day bootcamp, yours. Second, you go, well, okay, what if I have questions? You're onboarded into our 24/7 WhatsApp channel with our entire agency, my Meta team, my Google team, my AI team, my technology team, my creative team, myself, everybody. You'll have access to us 24/7. The other members of the elite program are in there. So you'll have 24/7 access to them. You'll have weekly live group calls that you'll be on for the latest trainings, get your questions answered. All of our trainings are there. They're all recorded. Monthly one-on-ones with me and my team. You're like, well, what if I need a LinkedIn makeover? What if I need a makeover of my creative? My creative team can actually help you with that on the spot. We'll do it. What if I need help with my ads manager? Not only will we look inside your ads manager and tell you how to do it, but Randa said, what about the $5,000 program? We're going to give you our social media crash course, step by step, how to create ads, how to launch ads, how to do all of your audiences, your retargeting. We take that, we break it down.
And
So the
need I
three
remind you
things,
not to interrupt Scott before, need I remind you this is the $1 billion ad man. So like if
we'll
you
give you
want
a
to
better
learn from somebody, it's this guy, and comment Friday to get in for the giveaway.
comment. And that's what it costs you. Friday. Just type in Friday and you get access. That's a pretty good deal. Our course, our entire VIP coaching program, 24/7 access to us, weekly and monthly live monthly calls, as well as our social media course. And all you have to do, type a few letters Friday, get access to it, and then watch the show, watch the Randy
And
show.
you're going to be in there with me and my media manager because that's where we are too. So I'm like literally giving you away exactly what I do in my business as well. Because again, we don't get here alone.
That's it. That's it. So
That's
if you've
it.
ever thought about, I need to create content, I want to create content, I don't know where to start, what to say, how to get it all done, there's no excuses. You've got the course, you got the coaching program, you got Docs of Talent that's going to do it for you, and Randa is going to lead the way for you and put it all together for you. So this is a great opportunity.
Absolutely. So I'm going to tell you the rest of everything that we're giving away that adds up to $80,000. But how about a freaking round of applause for Scott adding in almost $30,000 of giveaway himself? Like truly incredible. The only thing it's going to cost you is commenting the word Friday and being live with me this Friday, 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That would be 2 p.m. Where the Pacific Coast. Okay. So I'm going to be giving away an annual Digital Profit Queen membership. This is where you're going to get access to Icon Intelligence, Revenue Runway, my community. Like this is where a lot of people start with me. So that's a $2,300 value. You get a year inside of there. Okay. Monthly live classes with me, with my Rockstar clients. Like a lot of my Rockstar clients that are still in higher up things with me, whether it be my mastermind or like one-on-one with me, they're still in Digital Profit Queens because that's where they started. Okay. The next thing I'm giving away is $5,200 worth of content camera creator like equipment. My badass camera I'm doing right now that I'm using, that I'm so obsessed with the way that it is elevating my content because it is truly the best. It's like the Sony ZV-1. What it is as far as both a video camera and an actual camera at the same time, it does favor a little more on the video side, which is where everything is, but the camera side is even completely badass. That's $5,200 of literally my favorite camera that I saved up for myself before I invested into. Can just hand it over to you. It's absolutely incredible. One content shoot with it and it will pay for itself. I'm not kidding because when I did the Power Mills video shoot, I think that shoot cost me like $1,700. And it was beautiful content, but now I actually have the camera that can do it. Okay. The next thing is I actually am doing one of my one-on-ones, my CEO intensive. This is a 3-hour sprint where for it's only going to take 90 minutes of your time. I'm going to go in 90 minutes of your business and I'm going to go through all the nooks and crannies and everything and find my own situations of ways we can elevate. Then by the time you meet with me for our 90 minutes, I'm going to hand it over to you on a silver platter of exactly what you're going to do as far as, editing your offer, your next couple of weeks of content, your brand messaging guide. Like it is truly, it is my most popular offer of everything in terms of Iconic Academy. So I'm giving one of those away for free, which is my one-on-one time included. Then we're doing a my next content shoot. I'm actually inviting you to come along and you actually get to do content with me, but for your business. But you get my glam girl, my photographer, my content house that we're renting out in Houston, my styling on you, everything to literally elevate for you. And then here's the big one, the mastermind. This is 6 months of having me in your business 2 times a week. Plus you get access to my team. Slack channel, you don't have to worry. And let me tell you, just like we were talking about with Docs of Talent, how wonderful they are at finding you the VAs, you having access to my team is truly incredible because they have been growing and learning business the way that I operate for the last, Ada's been with me for 6 years. I don't share Ada with people, but I share her with my clients. And you know why? Because the way that we grow, Ada's been able to grow her team underneath her. So then I only have to manage Ada, but I actually have a full team under Ada doing all this work for me, but I don't have to manage all of them. So there's all these incredible things that are literally, it adds up past $80,000 that we're giving away this Friday. All you have to do is be live with me in the room, 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Comment the word Friday below because that's how you're going to get your seat. And y'all, I'm telling you, Scott is the dude. He's the dude. He's the guy. And it's when you get connected with people like this that it really just like brings out a next level of you with your energy, even past the strategy, even past the AI, even past the camera and everything.
Well, I got to say the same about you. I have the privilege of working with people all around the world. You are among those folks that I think it's just they're the most fun to work with because you really do care about the people you work with. Whenever I talk to Randa, once a quarter, once a month, You're always so passionate about wanting to help all the women in your program. And that's why when you said, hey, would you like to be involved? That's the power of trust too. I've seen you in action. I've seen you behind the scenes. I've seen you work with all of your folks in your program over the past few years. And when we were talking, I was like, I'm in. I'm in. So that's my trust in you, my faith in you, and knowing that whoever ends up winning this program and the people that become a part of your program will succeed. They've got all the resources. I mean, imagine today when you have all the resources, all the coaching, all the talent, all the access, all the tools, all the prompts, all the technology, and you can lock arms with the teams that walk
You're going to
forward.
make moves so much faster than you ever would alone. And you're not going to be scared because you know that you're being led in the correct way with proven people.
That's it. That's
We're
it.
going to see
So
some really incredible business growth happen from this. Not only this Icon Friday, but all of 2026. And I cannot wait. And y'all, Scott is someone who has rebuilt himself from ground zero. I've rebuilt in new industries. And truly, we are so honored for the opportunity to even get to connect with you, to bring you in for Icon Friday, and to have the opportunity to give away $80,000 worth of giveaway. And here's one last thing I want to say. It's not all going to one person. So all these different things are going to be spread to different winners. So I don't want you thinking like, well, I have a, small shot. No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things. So 8 different winners. The way that you're going to enhance your chances to win, the first 15 people that show up live with me in the waiting room on Icon Friday automatically get an extra entry. Show up early. Early bird gets the worm on this one. The first 15 people that get let in from who they're, and you get let in based on how you show up, that's going to get you an extra entry. So that's my little way of kind of giving you an extra advantage of saying, I see you. I know what it's like to be the star business owner, the star student. Like, I want to take full advantage of this. You show up early and you're going to be rewarded.
love it. Love it.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for your time, Scott. I cannot wait to share this one and have this one on our pages because this is a great conversation for any business owner to dive into. We
I
did
love
it.
I'm so excited to be a part of anything you're a part of or you're leading. So thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
If you
Thank
guys
you
get
so much,
listening,
Scott.
take advantage of what Randa's put in front of you. She's put her heart and soul into this thing, and all she's saying is like, let me help you. That's it. That's it. And the cost of entry is typing Friday and then showing up and then getting the early for some extra points. So hats off to you, Randa, for putting this together.
Thank you so much, Scott. Yes, all y'all have to do is comment Friday. I'm about to put this on the page and put that in the caption so that anyone new coming on in can comment the word Friday. But we're so excited to see who these huge winners are. And thank you so much for all that you do, Scott, and for showing up.
Love it. Love it.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Bye, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.